I am here with Bruce Wane, the Batman himself. Thank you, Bruce, for joining us.
Very, very, happy to be here. Thank you for taking the time out and the interest in bringing me on.
Absolutely. Thank you. So give us a little background on yourself, where you're from, what made you go into hip hop.
Do we have all night or I don't know if you did the research, but as far as where I'm from originally, as far as city or birthplace, am I going back too far? I'm from New York, born in Jamaica. I'm from New York. I was born in Jamaica, came to New York as a child. I grew up in the Soundview section of the Bronx, Bronxville Projects, original home of the Black Spades, which if anyone knows the Black Spades history, they became the Universal Zulu Nation. So you had like Africa Bambaataa. I used to be out there. They used to have the park jams in the projects sometimes. They used to have a big park across from the projects too, known as Rosedale Park. They used to have park jams out there. So as a child, I didn't know I was pretty much in the Mecca of hip hop or the birthplace of hip hop, but that's pretty much as far as getting into it. As far as music, more than likely is my mother. She used to play a lot of music. She wasn't playing hip hop. She was playing reggae. A lot of reggae, like a lot of Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, things of that nature. But every Sunday she would play music. So that was definitely an influence as far as her music and making me musical and making me what I believe is diverse.
So how did you find hip hop?
Well, it was all around me. It was all around me, but as far as being a participant, I believe I wrote a short rap. Went to school, let a friend hear it, and he was like, "Oh, that's dope," and that was it. I just kept going. As far as started writing rhymes and stuff like that. As far as artists that influenced me, definitely was KRS. KRS influenced me, and the early folks, De La, Tribe. That's why sometimes you hear on some compositions, I'll be very insightful, and in some compositions, I'll be very, Batmanish. Let's get to action. Kind of dark hip hop. Heavy boom bap, but it's always boom bap. But as far as hip hop, that's what influenced me. Basically, writing a rap, being around it, didn't realize where I was at. I was a child. It wasn't until later on where I would go places and they'd be like, "Oh, where you from?" And I was, "Oh, so and so." And oh, that's this. I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't realize I was like in the holy grail of hip hop as far as where it originated.
So what brought you to the United States, if I may ask?
Probably just more opportunity. I believe few of my family members that came up, then they brought us up, and that was it. Probably opportunity. I'm not someplace in Jamaica. I don't know. What would I be doing right now? Selling fruits in a resort? I don't know. Would I be prime minister? I don't know what I'd be doing. I don't know. But most people, when they come from islands like that, the families, probably just to give the kids better opportunity.
Yeah. So you also started, and I'm sure you've been asked this a lot of times, Wane Enterprises. How did you get going in that?
Oh, that started out as it's still going. It was a management company, transferred into a promotional company, and now it's a record company. But as far as the promotional side, I was managing a couple of artists. I went to a club, trying to get some venues for the artists to perform, and one of the owners, he asked me, "What's your name?" I said, "My name is Bruce." He said, "That's it? Like you don't got something with a little more kick to it for the nightlife?" So I'm Bruce Wayne, and that was it. That's how it was. Nothing more intricate or detailed or planned out besides that. That's just how the name happened to come about. As far as the Wayne Enterprises, Bruce Wayne. So yeah, Wayne Enterprises. But I got into management, managed a couple of artists. This was I was an artist first, then I got into management because there was a few issues I had that let me just leave the musical side alone for a minute. I just felt like, all right, because I was walked into a few labels early in my career, A&M Records. I was Universal, and pretty much it was always they wanted me, but they always wanted me to be not to be me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Even at one time I was with a minor label called Chemistry Music out of Brooklyn. And then Def Jam had interest in me as well, but they wanted me to change this and change that. There was so much stuff they wanted me to change. And I was like, to hell with that, I ain't changing anything. And I was always like kind of ahead of the curve. So when I started managing artists, I started telling them like, listen, this whole chase down labels and try to get a record deal thing is coming to an end. We got the internet coming on, we got different platforms and, ways to get your music out there, but they weren't trying to hear that. They were still kind of like in the old model.
Mhm.
So, but as far as that, that's how Wayne Enterprises became. And the name also became popular when I got into the promotional end of the business. I was setting up shows for the artists, for those particular artists. And I started bringing out, celebrities to the shows. Got called up to a couple of meetings. Got called into a meeting with Kevin Liles because I had Diddy sending promotion, Puff Diddy, people that's listening, P. Diddy, Sean Puff Combs sending promotional vans was out in front of events I was doing because they were that popular. Because at one point I was doing my thing on a promotional level and I was happy doing that. And that's basically how Wayne Enterprises got started.
So
I don't want to jump ahead of you. That's why I'm just like, I don't want to jump ahead of you. Oh, I started making music again. No, so I don't know if that's one of your questions. So I was like,
one of my questions is, interestingly, do a lot of these companies who have these contracts, do they try to lock you in and just make you into entirely something else that they want?
Most of the time, especially from that era, most of the time, because a lot of times now it's different because now you have more negotiating power. Like if you already have a buzz and you already got a track record, like someone like me, I could never, like I'm doing tours, I'm out the country. I'm too much for them to even approach me like that. But someone in their infancy, just beginning their career, yes, they're gonna try to change you, unless you already have something that's working, and then they'll probably just try to add to that. But they'll try to change you somehow, some way. And as far as the contracts, they're definitely gonna lock you in. As far as intellectual properties, as far as your name, more than likely, even where you could perform. Believe it or not, sometimes you can't perform without their permission, things like that. So it would definitely be that type of scenario.
That's crazy.
You know the dirty
Yeah.
business.
But man, so on your label, you got quite a few big names: Papoose, Sean Price, and a few others.
Yeah, well, they're not signed to me. Those are people I've worked with.
Oh,
I've worked with, people I have relationships with, because let me get back to Wayne Enterprises and what got me back into doing music. I had some unreleased music. I have a brother that he does music as well. He's kind of on hiatus right now. And he was like, yo, you should release that old stuff. So I wound up putting out a piece of work called the Dark Knight EP. And it was a buzz. It was just a nice buzz around it. And I decided just to go back into the studio and start making music again. That's pretty much how I got back into making music. As far as work, people I worked with early that was in the industry, I worked with Keith Murray early. And these are people I used to bring out to the shows. Like it's probably footage out there on the internet somewhere. Keith Murray from Death Squad, I brought him out to my show. Buckshot from Boot Camp Click, that's how the Sean Price thing manifested itself. Papoose, I brought him out to my shows. So it's like some of the people I'm working with now or people I brought out when I was still promoting, when I wasn't even back into music. So some of those relationships were already there.
It's sad to hear about Sean Price. It it seems like it hasn't been 7 years since his passing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's almost 10 years.
Yeah. He was an amazing artist, and Venom was a killer. I love that song.
Yeah, that pretty much was the spark, because I had an album before that, and Sean was actually on the album that preceded that album. Venom was on the Dark Knight, was on the Earl Mattigo Rap. That's where Venom appeared, but I had another album before that was called the Dark Knight album, The Day the Earth Stood Still. And that's the first time I worked with Sean on a remix to a song called Beast Inside, which is also a dope song. And we got some traction on that. And we were supposed to do some things. And, we worked again. And unfortunately, he passed.
Yeah. It seems like, so many of them have gone so quickly.
I mean, I definitely, want him here. I wish he was here. I'm pretty sure we all wish he was here, because it's like when it comes to Venom, it's like bittersweet. It's like, it's a dope track. It's a hot track. Sean killed it. I killed it. Chris Rivers killed it. Big Pun's son killed it. And it's like, it's bittersweet. So for some people it's dope, but for some people it's like, oh man. It depends on, no matter who you talk to, they're gonna say it's dope. But some people, it's kind of like I said, bittersweet. It's bittersweet. Yeah. And like I said, we spoke about doing shows and, things together and traveling together. So it was like, damn, unfortunately, but RIP to Sean Price, the legend.
But yeah, that's the amazing thing about music or being an artist and writing or whatever. It's like you've immortalized yourself right in there.
That's I agree with that. That's pretty much one of the reasons I do music. It really isn't for money or stuff like that or major accolades. It's more like just to leave a legacy. This for me is the legacy factor. Like when someone comes across my music or discovers me, oh man, who is this guy? Oh, I never heard of him before. Oh my God, it might blow their mind, or they want to research more of my catalog. Like you said, when you're no longer here, that music is eternal. So that's big with me. It's really not a material thing with me. Oh, I want a lot of, material items. I want to get all the girls. I want to get the big cars. That's not why I do it.
And that's the beauty of music too. I was talking to a few other people, and it brings everyone together.
That too.
No matter what. But so what inspires you before you go into the studio or start writing?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt. I didn't know if you showed the question.
Oh no. What gets you?
I don't know. I think I'm always ready. I think I'm always ready to let people know what it is. I'm always ready to, especially if you're talking about doing something where it's going to be myself and other MCs, other artists, other rappers. That's when it's like, all right, let's get it going. As far as we're going to see who's who and what's what on this one. That's my mentality as far as that. But as far as sometimes it might just be a beat. I might hear a beat. Might just be going about my day and just hear something. I don't know or maybe there's another artist, or maybe something like that. But it's very rare I hear anything from someone that's probably like more current as far as trap and mumble. Not really into that. But like I said, most of the time it's a beat. I hear a beat, or I might hear somebody say something, or I don't know. It might just be the way the wind's blowing that morning. I don't know. It's hard to say what makes you just, a feeling of nostalgia. It could be anything that sets it off, But when I do music, I try to put my best foot forward, and I like to try to make them like, wow. I try to give it my all.
So do you have any other projects coming up or anything you're working on?
Currently, yes. I just released a single called Paradigm Shift, which I got a great response to that. After, I ain't gonna say I was dormant for a while, but it seems that everybody was kind of like, behind the pandemic, was kind of like just relaxing. Like, why am I putting out music? I can't even go do any shows. What's the purpose? So like a lot of people was holding the stuff. So I was like 2020, 2019, 2020, 2022. And the last album I put out, the Dark Knight album, 2, Fight for Gotham, that got a phenomenal response. And I really I probably will revisit certain songs and do more videos for certain songs, because the pandemic really took the traction out of that to me, because there's so much. I feel that was a great body of work for anyone listening. Go and get the Dark Knight album 2, Fight for Gotham. But so it's like when you put such a great body of work out there, and something that we never dreamt of as far as this global pandemic comes along, and it's like, it just freezes everything. At one point, you couldn't even gather to go do a music video or go to a studio to record. Like it really shut the industry down as far as the creative side of things. So that kind of, it was kind of hard to get out of that. Like, damn, I know I put this great body of work together. Here comes some unprecedented event. So now I have to put another one together and show them again who I am and why I'm so good at what I do. But so Paradigm Shift, the first single, there's going to be a video for that. There's going to be a remix for that with a couple of surprises on it. I'm not going to throw out any names right now. There's going to be a few different individuals on that, and the song's been received as a banger. Paradigm Shift. Anyone that hasn't heard it, go out there and check it out. Paradigm Shift. It's on all platforms and everything right now. Wane, it's on BruceWayne.com. So yeah, the next project is definitely going to be released this year, and that's going to be called The Darth Wane. That's the name of the album, Darth Wane. Anyone that's familiar with the Star Wars universe and stuff like that, and Jedi's, Siths, and they will know what I'm talking about. I just feel like during the pandemic, coming out of such a dark time, usually with like most of my albums, like the Earl Matagorda Rap, that was named that. If you go back to the Earl Matagorda Rap, people that want to go back to my catalog, that album was to display that no matter what type of song or music I did, it would be phenomenal. Whether it was a hardcore song, a party song, a conscious song, that was the whole way that album was drafted. So if you go back, you see that. Fight for Gotham, that album was mostly boom bap. It wasn't really no dance songs on there, or no dance tunes. It was just boom bap, hard hip hop. This one's going along those lines as well. I want it to be, like you heard Paradigm Shift. I'm sure you heard it, Helen. Mm-hmm. It's hard hitting. The beat is crazy. It's, that's definitely what you get. That's the feeling I want from that album. Like you stuck your finger in a socket. It's, oh my God, you get a jolt. So that's where I'm going with this, with that album. I'm not going to be talking about crazy stuff like cutting bodies in pieces. Nah, it's just that's it, Dolph Wayne. And I'm also going to be I'm also returning back to my roots. Also, I'm going to be I'm doing a reggae album. And she said, what?
No, really, I can't wait to hear this. I mean,
Yeah,
your talent is phenomenal. So
I already have 3 tracks in. I'm only gonna do 10. The first 2 songs I have were produced by LMR Pro. For those of y'all that don't know who that is, you go research him. He's worked with a lot of big artists in reggae like Sean Paul, Shaggy, a lot of them. His credentials is just phenomenal. I got linked through him to someone else that's in music, and I feel that project's gonna be great. Like I said, just returning back to my Jamaican roots and my reggae roots, because even though I'm into hip hop, I grew up on that. It wasn't like I just left that part of me. It was always there, so I'm looking forward to completing that. That one's called Prodigal Son. That's the Prodigal Son. That's gonna be reggae, R&B, reggae and dancehall, and that's gonna be a winner. Also, I have the Dark Knight. The Batman should have been on a 2 mixtape coming.
mhm.
That's when I go over like classic hip hop beats and, do my thing, drop some hot 16s, 24s, 32. Like if it was a hot beat, it's gonna get destroyed. That's the whole thing. Like, damn, the Batman should have been on that. Like whoever was on originally, I'm trying to eclipse what they put on there. Like, wow, what's up with this guy? No disrespect, but that's what I'm doing. That'll be the second in that series. So I'm pretty busy.
Yeah, it sounds like you are.
Yeah, basically it's 3 projects happening simultaneously. It's 3 projects happening simultaneously. I'll be in the studio. So one song you're hearing me hip hop it out. Next song you hear me speaking patois. I'm over there, yeah man, wagwan, da da da. So it's like, so it's like to turn that switch off and on. As far as the Jamaican dialect and the Caribbean dialect, how you start talk, how you talk, and move, how you move. You know what I'm saying? And the chat, how you chat, and they just go back to boom bap hip hop. So, but I think my fans and my people that support me are gonna be very pleased. I aim to please. Everything I do has to be the bar. I try to set the bar.
Yeah, I can't wait. This should be, absolutely amazing. Yeah.
It will be. I don't want to sound arrogant and full of myself, but it will be.
So tell me, because, there are a lot of people, and you always hear this about hip hop, like it's misogynistic, violent, et cetera, et cetera. What do you have to say to those people who say that?
They're right. It is. But so is rock. So is the movies coming out of Hollywood. So, you really, if you just want to pinpoint one genre for whatever reason, because if you look hard enough, you can find that anywhere. You know what I mean? But you can also find the beauty in hip hop as well. Just like you can find the beauty in reggae and dancehall and the beauty in rock or soft rock or whatever. I don't know if you can find no beauty in what's that? I think it's like satanic. I know one of those forms of rock is like straight satanic, devil, pagan. We cutting blood, we doing wild, but it's like, damn, I don't know if I'm gonna find the beauty in that. But it's a form of expression, and for guys and girls and men and women that grew up in certain areas, that's what they're accustomed to. They, not to say that they're ignorant, because you have people that are able to function on different levels. They can hold an intellectual conversation and they can get around their boys and, yo, start dropping N words and blah, 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 and all that. So, but as far as the people that criticize hip hop, yeah, it's a mixture. That's what makes it beautiful. If there's something you hear that you don't like, turn it off. You have plenty more to listen to. There's definitely a variety. So you can't say like, yo, I hate this genre of music because you heard one song from one artist or talking about one subject. It's so much. It's a plethora of things to choose from. Because if you can't like take away tribe, you can't dispel Public Enemy. It's just like the founding fathers, the Karis ones, the Melly Mel's, so now you might see, like, I personally don't like the fact that you're seeing all these guns in videos. Not to say that I don't talk about guns, because I'll be hypocritical, but I don't jump on screen, me, my peoples, and everybody just pointing a gun. I'm like, what's that all about? But yeah, as far as people that say that, it's a beautiful thing. That's exactly why Tribe Called Quest is now nominated to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. L just got in there, so it all depends on where you look. Because like I said, movies that's coming pumped out, movies that's being put out there has sex and violence. And it's not even, when you're dealing with hip hop, you're talking about audio. When you're dealing with the movies, you're talking about visual.
Yeah.
This is a visual. It's depicting violence right in front of your face. You know what I'm saying? You got to try to compare that to that. So that's all I got to say. Just be more open-minded. Don't condemn the genre. Because if something's not your cup of tea, move on. Move on. You don't want to hear Rick Ross? Go listen to Talib Kweli.
Also, you have your live stream. You're doing episodes and everything. How's that going? You're going to have another episode out?
Yes, I slowed down because of the recording. And actually, I was supposed to be in the studio last Sunday, so I didn't do my show. And that wound up getting canceled. So I was like, damn, I could have did my show. So now, this Sunday, where I plan on doing another show, I'm going to be in the studio. But I'll probably just go live from the studio, because most people are understanding as long as you let them know I'm not just out here twiddling my thumbs like, damn, why the show ain't on? If I show you, like, look, I'm working. Look, I'm in the studio. I'm creating for you guys. It'll be back. But right now, I'm still in the creating process, I'm not just out there, doing something silly like, oh, what's he doing? He's out there, he's doing he's fishing. You know what I'm saying? But the show was definitely well received. I had a couple of celebrity guests on there, and I will have more. But like I said, being that I'm the Jamaican coming to I am, but being that I'm actually juggling 3 projects simultaneously, and a lot of people it ain't like a show where I just jump in front of the camera. It's a lot of pre-production, graphics. Sometimes we put video, so it takes a lot. I have, big up Mark. I work with Mark. Big up my brother. He'll send me some footage sometimes, but it was well received, and I'm not gonna stop doing that. People always say, "Oh, you're good in front of the camera," so it is what it is. And then it's a way to connect with people, besides music. Sometimes people just want to see your personality. I'm pretty sure I have people that's like me, not even because of music. They probably couldn't give a damn. I don't care what that guy said. When his live show comes on, I love his personality. I love his opinion on this. So it's just another way to expand myself and have people see more of who I am.
So how do you know, is it the stories that touch you the most that you want people to know about?
Well, I know I do politics. I do politics, and sometimes people inbox me. I have a hip hop group called Hip Hop Heads Worldwide, and it was like a firestorm in that group a couple of months ago. Some people that were supporters of a certain president who's no longer president, they was like up in arms because so I don't know if it was a video I put out or something I said in the group, and I didn't even know what was going on in the group. see some of my fans, they inboxed me on Instagram. They said, Bruce, what's going on in the group? And I'm like, what's going on in the group? I see, yo, I had to disable comments on the posts, block the post, because I know politics and religion are very, charged subjects. Those are like, you say, like, if you want to keep friends, try not to get into religion, and try not to get into politics. Find something else to communicate about, because you're gonna lose a friend unless you guys mirror the exact same beliefs. And sometimes people don't mirror the exact same beliefs, don't mean they're bad people, because you don't believe in my politics, my religion, or whatever, but you still may be a great individual to hang out with or to, converse with, But I pick a lot of the topics based on what I feel is relevant, as far as like what's going on in hip hop, what's going on in politics, and that's pretty much how I choose it. What I think may spark people's interest. I try to stay away from trash, like trashy stuff, or stuff that's more like a rumor, or stuff I feel is like really distasteful. Like stuff that hasn't been confirmed, like wild, outlandish stories, and no one knows the source or if it's confirmed or not. I'll try not to touch that. Like I said, just stuff that isn't too far, too overboard. I try to find a balance in that, the medium.
So, where can people find you at? Where can they find hip hop heads worldwide?
Well, Hip Hop Heads Worldwide, that's on Facebook. There's also a Hip Hop Head Worldwide clothing apparel. That's on Amazon. They can go there and get the Hip Hop Heads Worldwide t-shirts, hoodies, just different designs on there. If they go to Amazon, they could just simply search Hip Hop Heads Worldwide and it'll come up. If it don't come up, then just search it again and put the word apparel. But Hip Hop Heads Worldwide is on Facebook. Anyone's open to join it. We don't take kindly to like people berating each other, going crazy. You're probably gonna get banned. Like if you come in there with a constructive opinion, that's cool. But if you come in there like this guy sucks ass, he needs to die and stuff. Like, hold on, the moderator's going, yo, what's up with you, man? This ain't that type of party. You need to go to another group. Like, and if anyone is in the group, you'll probably notice that it ain't too much. You don't see too much stuff like that, like vulgarity. You might see something slip through the cracks once in a while, maybe. And if it does slip through the cracks, the thing that slips through the crack, most of the time is some whack music, or sometimes like, why they let that? That sounds too trappy. What's this guy saying? Because we try to keep it hip hop, But everyone's welcome to join, post stories, share their opinions on the world.
So, last question. What advice would you give to a young person out there who wants to follow in your footsteps, go into hip hop, rap?
Wow, don't take my route. No, because my route was so long. Like I said, I was an artist. I went to being a promoter. I went to being a manager, going back into being an artist. It was just like, I covered the spectrum. And it's funny because a lot of times when people really research me, and I've been up on other broadcasts and publications, they be like, yo, man, it's good because what advice I would give to them is try to learn all aspects of the music business. And this is a business. This is a business. Take it seriously. That's what I would say. Take it seriously. Try to get along with other artists in your genre. Try to work with other artists in your genre. Build a fan base. Build your brand, to what you want it to be. Look at what other people are doing and what works for them and what doesn't work for them. Like they say, other people's failure is a great lesson for someone else. Like, I'm not doing that. But learn the business. I learned the business early on. There was a big blue book called This Business of Music. And I still have that book to this day. That book, it taught me about mechanical licensing, publishing, royalties. So learn the business. Go become a member of ASCAP and BMI. Go get your writer membership, become a publisher, and register your music with ASCAP, register your music with Sound Exchange, like find an administrator for your publishing. Really invest in that side too. Everybody just see the glitz and the glam, but take it seriously if it's something you really want to do. And don't put a time stamp on success. You never know when you may break, be it from whatever, or be it just you just breaking yourself. That's it.
Thank you, Bruse, so much for joining me. Thank you.
Listen, we ain't done yet. Make sure y'all visit www.brucewayne.com. www.brucewayne.com. Or you can go over there. You can keep up on my shows, because I will be going back on tour soon, probably in June.
And you're coming to Cleveland?
Hopefully. I've been wanting to go to Cleveland. Where are you at? Ohio?
Yes.
But Cincinnati or Cleveland?
I am in actually Marion, Ohio, but it is like 2 hours away from Cleveland.
All right, listen, I come to Cleveland, you have to come out. You don't come to Cleveland, I'm never coming back to Cleveland. I come to Cleveland, Helen, you have to come to the show.
I will.
You have to give the cats a little time to breathe. I see the cats back there in the background. You got to give the cats a little time to breathe. But yes, I definitely want to return to Cincinnati, and there's some great people in Cincinnati. And I definitely want to return. I definitely want to go to Cleveland. I've never been there. So like I said, if you want to keep up with me, my shows and my tours and merch, all that other stuff, just www.brucewayne.com, BRUSEWANE.
Thank you, Bruse. Seriously, thank you.
Not a problem. Anytime. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Take care, Bruse.
You too. It was great talking with you.